So welcome back, everyone. I'm not sure if someone wants to start the conversation or just share some of their thoughts on discussions within the breakout room. I'm just going to share some of the feedback or notes that were recorded.
I'll go first, Cornelia.
Thanks, Jane.
We don't have anything written because we were so involved in the conversations. It was lovely to meet Martin from Galway, Clive from Wales, Donna in Canada, and Sarah in East Yorkshire. So I think we were all agreed at the beginning that we were so energized by Jack and his presentation and his passion for action research and, you know, constellation of values. We talked about that. Everyone you know, mentioned how they're involved in action research. So we learned about 5 different, you know, projects, histories, like so interesting. And we've all agreed to share contact details so we can learn a little bit more about each other's work. So, you know, that's just fantastic. But it was all under the framework of, you know, being passionate about action research, about voice, you know, including participants in our work. Clive and Donna both had common ground in the subject area. They were researching in terms of mental health and dementia. So that was really interesting as well. And we're all interlinked by education. But yeah, it was really, really rich conversation, which was spearheaded by Jack's passion and work. So we'll try and write something down about it, but we're just all buzzing.
Okay, perfect. That's excellent. Thank you. Would anyone else like to share their thoughts or conversations?
I would like to try to summarize everything we talked about. It was really interesting, and we were also very engaged about some key ideas from previous talks. It is room 1 at the beginning.
Okay.
Of the document. Just a second. Oh, yeah. So there were some very interesting ideas. For example, that in terms of this phrase, improving our practice, there were some ideas that perhaps we should talk about enhancing our practice, because perhaps improving means that there is automatically something that is not good or wrong or so on, and perhaps the term enhancing could be more appropriate. Also, we talked about the importance of the community of practice, but also the context for agency, because every practice is deeply into the context and depends on the context. So if something works in one context, doesn't mean it will work in some another context. Also, we talked about the importance of written feedback as in terms of the way we could learn about our educational influence, perhaps from the student perspective. So for example, I shared my my experience in action research that is ongoing. I use student reflexive diary as a way to get the insight into their experiences and everything that happens during classes. And we connected it with a web of betweenness. And it really inspired me to look even deeper in this topic, in this term. Also, we talked about, we mentioned that we noticed living contradiction here with university professors when they perhaps lecture about relationships or the constructivistic approach to learning and teaching, but not every professor does it actually in his practice. And also, yeah, and the holistic idea that Brian mentioned about being a positivist in the world of living theory. we also discussed about that. So there was a lot of interesting ideas about this topic, but I think this actually summarizes what we talked about. Thank you.
Brilliant, thanks very much. Does anyone else want to add? I'm just going to stop sharing because I can't see everything. Anyone want to just add some comments there? Maureen, Mary, Bernie, just in concluding, or?
We were in room 5 with Marie and Geish and Mike and Mags. And actually, we had it was really interesting just learning about each other and the research we were undertaking. And it was interesting that through that, a lot of the ideas about values and living your values was coming through quite strongly. So for me, actually, and I wrote it on the Google Doc, I've been influenced educationally today just from hearing from my colleagues. So thank you.
That's great. Did anybody else want to add anything?
Any other group like to share? I think it's always lovely, isn't it? Anyhow, you know, sometimes it's a seed that's sown and it takes time for that to grow and for one to reflect upon. But yeah, the Google Docs and the links are all available after the NEARIMeet. So we do like and we encourage that the conversation continues.
Yeah, I think it grabs. I think that exactly, that just, I think what Tara was just saying there, it encapsulates what Jack was talking about the importance of relationality. And I know it's what inspired the conversation in our room as well. So maybe we'll just take a 5 minutes break. We'll turn off our cameras and we'll come back. I know we're running a little bit late, but what do you think?
But yeah, exactly. We'll come back at 11:25 if people like to grab a tea or a coffee or just get a comfort break. Yeah.
Cornelia, just to mention, I put a list of David McCormack's publications into chat there. It's Shamie here, if people want to look at it.
Can you share it again, Shamie? I don't see it here now.
If you go back up the chat there,
Oh,
it says
is it way up?
University? Yeah.
I'll look and dig it out. So thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Because I think a lot of people will be really fascinated by his publications. They're very much in line with what we're doing, you know.
Brilliant. No, thank you. And indeed, anyone, like, please contribute to the share any.
Yeah, and sorry, Jack, did you want to say something there, maybe to just close us up before we take our break?
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone.
He's
Okay.
already gone for.
Yeah, it's really important to emphasize that if you go to the bottom of the Google document, you'll see that there's access to the chat facility that we can keep the conversation going. And it just feels to me important that we all do contribute to that and keep our conversations going. That was the only addition.
Oh, great. Okay. Thanks a million again, Jack. That was a wonderful, inspiring morning for us.